Hey everyone, welcome to the latest Padrecast. This video Padrecast is going to go over the NBA Elite 11 demo, which came out last week. Fred and I have spent some time with it. We're going to talk about it. There's certainly a lot to talk about, this being kind of a reboot year, going from NBA Live to NBA Elite, and they've introduced a lot of new things, kind of changed the direction of the franchise. So before we get into our opinions on that, talk a little bit about the demo structure. We had a full fourth quarter of the NBA Finals, the standard gameplay. Also have the Become Legendary mode. You start that up, play the Jordan Showcase game, and then you have the what actually kicks off the demo in the tutorials and the ability to just shoot around in the gym. I have my thoughts on kind of my initial feelings on this, Fred. But in terms of what the demo provided, what did you think of it initially?
I thought when you consider that, like you said, it's a reboot year for EA Sports and their basketball title. I thought that this was probably a good direction to go with the demo. You had a lot of different modes that you could try, not just playing. Compared to the NBA 2K demo, you had a lot more that you could do, and it only made sense considering, hey, you know what you're getting with NBA 2K with this NBA Elite. I thought it was good that they really did let you try out a lot of the modes. The practice mode. You could play a regular game and then you can do that. What was it? The legend mode or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Become Legendary.
become
Yeah.
legendary. So, I was kind of glad that I was really able to get a feel for what to expect with the title.
Yeah, so just going into it, my first thoughts on it, and again, it's kind of foreign using everything on the right stick. Uh, so going into it, I thought in the practice gym, when it kicks you off, starts you with the tutorials, and then just shooting around and doing different moves in the practice gym. I actually found myself liking the way it felt, and creating different shots, like going to the hole and going up for a dunk, and then pulling off of that, and instead scooping the ball up, like switching hands, those type of things that you can do with the stick now. And then also, I thought it felt really fluid actually shooting with the right stick. And I've never been a right stick type of guy. But then once it was all taken into a full game, that's where it lost it for me. It just like to
Yeah.
me, this is to me. Okay, they're taking a game and kind of directing it more at the casual crowd or the crowd that typically doesn't play basketball games because they have to, because they're going head to head with 2K right now. They're not capturing any sales, so they're doing this to try to bring in different type of gamers. But it's too much going on. Like with this right stick, you have to worry about what hand the ball's in. You have to. Uh, I just found myself concentrating too much on what I was doing myself, which took away from the team play aspect of it all. And then also there's a couple exploits already discovered with this hook shot exploit, uh, and it's just it became more of a mess to me than anything. And I've had that gut feeling for a while, for months really, that this was going to turn into a disaster. I wouldn't say it's a disaster, but I think it's definitely disappointing to people who were looking for something improvement on Live 10, which I thought was a pretty good game, just lacking in a few areas.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. It's funny that you mentioned it, but when I was doing the gym and I'm just dribbling around and shooting, I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. And then I remembered, hey, we saw that video already, and I had kind of said I didn't like the way the players looked when they shot or anything like that. But I don't know. It did feel like you said fluid. The shooting, the ability to dribble, and all that. Then once I got into the game, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't even know what to do. I
Yeah,
actually had to switch my controls from whatever they were, Elite, to whatever the old ones were.
yeah.
Because I mean, even to jump up to play defense for a rebound, I couldn't do it just with the right stick. It just felt awkward to me, and I don't know if it's because I'm so used to the NBA 2K right stick that this
Uh-huh.
was a slightly different. Like going up for rebounds, I'm used to like hitting Y or whatever the
Sure.
jump button
Yeah.
is. So I found myself, and then I couldn't pass, I couldn't shoot a free throw
Oh,
right, and it was just
yeah, yeah. So
it
they
was
changed that all around.
yeah.
Passing, like you talk about the defensive controls, probably. Is that what irked you the most? For me, I actually didn't mind it on defense, so I didn't like blocking shots with the right stick. It just
Right.
the timing wise didn't seem to be coming through right. I like kind of using the stick to try and strip a ball handler.
Yeah.
Um, what I didn't like the most with the controls was the pass moving and passing to the right trigger. And then also there's this delay on the icon passing. That's where I found the most issue. And then also with the dribble moves, even if I was doing crossovers or behind the back or spins, it wasn't really creating any space, which is kind of defeating the purpose of actually doing dribble moves.
Yeah.
So with the shooting controls, the new passing controls, the new dribbling controls, the new controls for defense, what did you like the most? What did you like the least?
What did I like the most? Wow.
Probably none, right? Is that
Probably,
what you're trying?
yeah,
That's what you're trying to say. Yeah.
probably nothing. I mean, one of the things that really bothered me about this game, and I mean, I've seen it in basketball games before, is just when you basically post up someone, and they do this thing where I don't know if it's just the way the engine is or what, but you try to back down someone, and that guy doesn't move. The defender doesn't move, but yet your guy's still doing that thing where he's like moving, backing down the guy when he's not even going anywhere. Like he's running in place almost.
Yeah.
And I found myself doing that a couple times, not only in the regular game when I was playing the actual game, but when I did that become legendary and I picked, I created myself, became a power forward, and I thought, okay, well, let me try to post up DeMarcus Cousins, and the same thing happened. And to me, it was just like that shouldn't happen. The guy should be back down, or I should, stop or something. It's so stupid the way the guy just runs in place like that. So I mean, I hated that. I hated I just,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This game was I was kind of surprised by, wow, this might actually be a decent game. Then the game starts and it just turns to complete garbage. And
That wasn't your first text message to me though.
no, yeah, I don't. What did I say? This is
This is garbage or
yeah.
something. I don't know. Your first reaction was not positive, and it didn't surprise me. I mean, you're a 2K guy. At least but you've tried live over the years,
Yeah, I remember
obviously. So
last year I actually bought both games because I
yeah,
wanted to play live mainly for the online team play stuff. So I did
yeah,
play that for quite a bit, and I mean, to me that game seems better than this one. It's like I told you before the show. To me, this just seems like it's a shade above the NBA Inside or whatever that Sony game
yeah.
is. It just
Well,
they
it has that kind of generic feel to it, and
it
I think
does.
that's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people have pointed out is like it's lacking in signature animations. It just and the graphics are kind of flat. It definitely seems graphically to have taken a step back, and then also things like the camera angle, which they changed because you're kind of control how you're controlling the players, which I don't think either of us are really fans of.
No.
Do you think that this was kind of my opinion coming out of it is that I still see I don't envision myself playing much standard 5-on-5 with NBA Elite. It's just not refined enough. But with the Become Legendary mode and potentially the EA Sports Basketball Association, the online team play online league type setup, I still see potential in those because I think the controls kind of work as an individual where you're not worrying about everything else. Like in Become Legendary, when I was playing as my guy, all I had to worry about was myself, trying to get open,
Yeah.
trying to make a move with the stick. I'm not also worried about calling plays necessarily or working the ball around because all I'm worried about is getting my own. So do you think do you see it differently in terms of those modes as opposed to just the standard way to play?
Yeah, that was one thing that I thought when I popped in the demo and we were playing and I saw the Become Legendary mode. I thought, oh, hey, this isn't that bad. It does have some potential. You really can't get too deep into it because it is a demo. But I thought the same thing that, hey, if there is any mode that I would consider playing in this game, it would be that mode. And the online team play. If it's anything like the NBA Live online team play that we all were playing last year,
Mhm.
with the site guys, I would play that. But I mean, in the end, it all comes down to gameplay and how the game plays. And to me, I really just can't get into this. And I know that part of it is because I'm so used to NBA 2K's controls. But like I said, I bought both basketball titles last year and was able to play both of them. And while I enjoyed 2K a heck of a lot more than I did live, I was able to tolerate live's gameplay. And
Sure.
this just seemed just so different. And again, I don't know how much stock you can really put into it because it's a demo. Like you don't want to write the game off because all we have played is just a demo. But man, it's really hard not to when you consider what you've played so far.
Yeah. So NBA Elite is coming packaged with the code for NBA Jam. Now, I guess the first question I should ask you is, do you plan to purchase NBA Elite?
No, not after not after playing the demo.
NBA and NBA Jam, does that change did that influence you at all?
No, no, not
No?
not at all. I mean, I would if NBA Jam was something that I could get off of Xbox Live Arcade or the PS Store or something like that, I would get it maybe. But it's one of those games as well that I'll play it for a little bit in the beginning and then I won't touch it again. It's the same thing that happened with NBA Street. You know,
Sure.
I played it for a little bit and then just didn't play it anymore. So no, that purchasing that or that being packaged with NBA Elite has no bearing on whether I'm gonna buy this game or not.
Now, for me, it does, and I had the chance to play NBA Jam quite a bit at PAX, and the game is fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it really feels like it did years ago, but advanced now. And uh, that to me would influence. Obviously, I'm getting the game. I pretty much get every game, just in even if I don't want it, just in order to cover it. Um, but like that to me would influence it. And I have friends who are talking about NBA Jam, and basically it comes down to buy it and then sell off Elite and see what you can get back,
Yeah,
and just hang on to NBA Jam. And so this decision to combine the two to package Jam in, it may boost Elite sales slightly this year, and I think that it's adding interest at least. But I don't think it's going to help the long-term Elite because the important thing was, if you're going to get people to buy the game for some other reason and then they try Elite, it better be good or else they're never going to give this franchise a try
right.
again. So the question now becomes, is Elite going to last past 1 year? I don't think EA wants to get out of the NBA, but fiscally it may be something they consider. So we'll have to see. But any final thoughts on both demos or just
Well,
Elite?
all right. Well, I got a couple thoughts left, but the first one was, kind of talked about it, them packaging the game NBA Jam with Elite. To me, that kind of pisses me off more than anything else because it's like in order to play NBA Jam, a game that I might actually want, I got to buy that piece of crap game for $60 or whatever. To me, that just seems like it's. I see what they're trying to do, but as a consumer, it only pisses me off more than it makes me want to buy it. So it's almost like out of principle, I wouldn't buy that game just because of that. It's like, well, you're trying to force this other game down my throat, even though I may not want it, just so I could play NBA Jam. So no, I
Yeah.
didn't like that.
You're
Uh,
probably not the only one that feels that way. I've read that kind of similar sentiment in different places. So
mhm. And then as far as comparing the two demos, I'll give Live the edge on as far as like having more substance to the demo. You're able to play a lot more. But again, already know what you're getting with NBA 2K. I don't think that they were trying to put that demo out there to sell the game to people. It was more probably to whet people's appetites on
yeah,
what was actually coming out with the game. But as far as which game is better, I kind of thought that NBA 2K kind of knew that NBA 2K was going to be better than Elite. I mean, Elite would have to do something just that blows it out of the water. But out of
yeah,
everything I've been reading about 2K, it just looks like such a deep game that I don't know why
yeah,
any basketball fan would not get that game. My only concern is, and this is with a lot of 2K games, is there always ends up being some kind of glitch killing
yeah,
bug in the game that ruins it until they put out a patch. And I just hope that there isn't anything like that, especially in the association mode, which is what is getting me most excited about that game. It just seems like it's so deep.
yeah.
Online, I've kind of like just said, well, that's probably going to suck like it always does because 2K's online play just sucks. But hopefully this year it's not. Again, I'm not holding my breath on it, but
Yeah.
as far as like what's going to be better, I think hands down it's going to be NBA 2K.
Yeah, and that's one of those games where you know kind of what you're getting into with it and kind of have those expectations. And again, it just comes down to whether they deliver on online play this year. So I think that'll do it for this round. Thanks to everybody for listening on the NBA Elite demo, and we'll be back next week with another video Padrecast. Take care.